What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Flame078 and this is Perspective Gaming here with another Apex Legends video. And today's video is all about Wraith. If you guys have missed my earlier coverage about the new updates, about Lifeline, please make sure to check that out. Linked in the card and the description box down below. But today's video, I'm just really going to break down and pretty much talk Wraith for the casual noob, right? Wraith got a rework and we gotta talk about it, see how she plays now, see what you need to look out for if you're gonna pick up Wraith for the first time, or you're coming back to her after leaving her for a bit. So without further ado, let's just jump right into the video. So first things first, what did they do to Wraith to make her, rework? What did they change? Wraith has been getting constant nerfs because she is still such a high pick rate, and for the most part, she is a high tier legend because of the way you could use her skill set. And the pros, there's a reason why the pro meta is always including Wraith. So why are they trying to bring her down, trying to even her out with other legends? That's up for debate. Some are arguing that Respawn wants to, reduce the skill gap, make sure that people have a fair advantage with all the other legends. But at the end of the day, that's their way of balancing it. Well, at the end, I'll see if we'll talk about if I agree or not. But let's break down what actually happened with her. So the couple of things that they did to her is this. So the activation of her phase walk, which allows her to avoid damage and stuff like that, has a timer increase, which is substantial. But not only that, she gets significantly slowed down during the activation phase, meaning that in their words, they wanted to stop having Wraith using that as a get out of jail free card, which a lot of people have been doing. She gets into a fight and then things don't go away, she phase walks and manages to get out of the way. They said they really wanted to kind of reduce that and not let that happen. So with that, it really does play a big part in that, and it's really hard. I'm not going to say it's impossible, because as you guys see in the background during my stream when I was playing her, Twitch TV, Flame078, just for your information, but you are still able to really get out of intense situations, but it still takes skill. So that's where I kind of flip-flop, where thinking sure, they made it longer, but if you still are a good player, you might be able to get out of situations, but it's extremely difficult, right? That slowdown is detrimental, so you really can't pop that if you're really getting fired at. You really have to try to use that or initiate it when you're in some kind of cover and then rotate out, which is, I think, the intention of what they want her to do. They want her to be able to rotate into a position or rotate out of a position, but not, get out of jail, like they said, get out of a jail free card just because oh my god, I landed in front of a team, let me pop out. So that's kind of what going on with that. And yeah, it's difficult. It's such a hard thing. You see the memes where people are thinking yo, casting fireball jutsu or something like that, because it just takes so long. The animation is kind of ridiculous, but it's not as bad. I played 3 hours with her consistently to try to just get a feel for it. After a while, after I got into the groove, I kind of understood it, and I started adapting to how I wanted to use her. So instead of relying on the the ability to get out of a situation, I started thinking about mobility. I started thinking about movement. I started really doing more with the crouch jumping, try to wall jump, just bobbing, weaving, really improving that aspect of my gameplay, and then using the skill to really get out of it. And that's kind of when I reviewed back the footage of what you guys just saw of me getting out of certain situations, I noticed that's what I was doing. So I think if you shift over and start thinking about it that way, start thinking about your movement first and then the ability, you're gonna have a much better time with that. So that's my recommendation, my tip for any Wraith player, is that just focus on mobility. And at the end of the day, this can be applied to any legend, right? You should really be focusing on your movement and the way you play the game, because that is what's gonna help you improve in the game. That is what makes you a top tier player. One other thing that they've done too, just as a quality of life improvement, when you're in the void and you're walking, you can see your enemies now. So it's actually come in clutch when I'm phase walking and seeing where enemies are. Sometimes I've been able to get behind them, or sometimes, as usual, I ended up oh crap, I'm right next to someone, right? So please keep in mind with that now. You can see where people are in the void, So pay close attention to that, and that will allow you to position better. The other thing that they did is reduce her ultimate, length, for her portal. Sorry, her portal is not as long, and the reason for this is also, again, for a quick repositioning, for a quick get out. They didn't want that extended long, rotation. They believe that should be left for Pathfinder. That's what Pathfinder's grapple is for. So they shortened that to, make sure that, that's still as viable. I mean, it is a hurtful, change. I'm thinking, like, I'm so used to trying to get a long portal that I sometimes fall short. So it's just, again, a matter of tweaking the way you think about how you want to use that portal. But it's still very much effective to get your team into a position, to get your team out of a position. That is still very viable, and you just got to keep in mind it's just not as long. So the best couple of things that I've noticed while playing is try to use that in conjunction with buildings or corners, because you're not going to be able to rely on getting that whole distance out the way. But it's not bad. I can see why they're doing that. The portal itself wasn't a huge dramatic change for me. It was more the phase walk that really took some time to adjust. Besides that, Ray still feels really good. She's still pretty hard to hit. I think, in my personal opinion, top tier players, people who play the game a lot, who have good mobility and movement, can still really take advantage of her, and you're not gonna see a bad Wraith still. Her skills are still good, but I do think I don't know if their intention was to lower the skill gap for new players to use her, casual players to use her. I don't think this change actually did that. I believe it actually increased the skill needed to use Wraith, because of her skill cap. Wow, I can't speak. Her skills, right? Her abilities still are top tier, and I think it's tied to specifically to the movement that you need to take advantage of, her phase walk. So if you're coming into Wraith for the first time, you're coming into her after not using her for a while, keep that in mind. I'm not saying you're going to be bad with Wraith, but you're also going to need to start thinking about playing your game differently. A lot of times, certain legends that you can play, really you can use their abilities to keep yourself in a fight. But a character like Wraith requires skill, right? She requires some type of improvement on your own gunplay, your own movement play, to really take advantage of what Wraith has to offer as a legend. So please keep that in mind, and that's just the thoughts that I had after playing her, all of Thursday night with the boys. But other than that, I gotta say those are the tips that I got. I still think she feels very viable. I think she's still really good, and I was really surprised that I'm coming out of this with not that many negative thoughts. There are dramatic, and I get it, people are really upset that they keep trying to change her to kind of reduce the skill gap, but I'm not getting that feeling. I'm not really agreeing that new players or casual players can really pick up Wraith and use her. I think you're going to need to have some skill to use Wraith effectively. But that's just me. That's just my thoughts. If you're a Wraith main, if you played Wraith recently since the patch notes, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Let's have a conversation, and stay tuned for my video. I'm going to be talking about Wattson's rework as well, so make sure to hit that subscribe button, and so to make sure you don't miss that video. But I think that's it for me, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you. Have a great day. My name is Flame078, and this is Perspective Gaming, and I'll catch you guys very soon. Adios.